Welcome back to another early edition of THN Ludicrous Speed Rounds. We put these up on our YouTube's channel so you kids can get the info early and arm yourself with comic knowledge.
Luckily, we only made it through one review before we realized we weren't recording.
Before we get into this week's reviews, Joey, let's introduce the cocktail of the week. This week, we're sipping on a take of the classic Smash, which is generally when you take fruit and smash it with alcohol and lemon juice. Delicious, right?
Yeah, you smush it.
We're calling this one the Carnicería Absoluta, which is Spanish for absolute carnage. Here's your recipe.
So stupid.
In a cocktail shaker with ice, pour 2 ounces of Reposado Tequila, 1 teaspoon of honey or agave
Is that
syrup.
a brand of tequila or like a type of
It's a type of
liquor?
tequila. Silver tequila is typically aged a year. Reposado, around 2 years usually. And then more than that, you get añejo, and that's when it gets nice and dark in color. So the darker it gets, the little sweetness it gets to it. 1 teaspoon of honey or agave syrup. We are using Valor Hemp Agave Necter, which came from a guy that I interviewed for the Mystery of Hemp podcast. It is CBD infused and is delicioso. Juice from 1/2 of a lemon, 2 dashes of Angostura bitters, and then 1/2 cup. Well, I made 2, so we used a whole one. But one of those little single-serve jello cups.
A snack pack.
Something red. Cherry, raspberry, strawberry. It's got to be red.
Watermelon.
That's your guts. Shake well and pour into your rocks glass with ice and garnish with a Prodigy Toys mini Spider-Man Carnage action figure, complete with movable hands, and enjoy.
Excelsior.
Excelsior.
You can't see this, but it's gritty. It's weird.
There's gore floating in
It's kind of distressing.
But it is muy delicioso.
That is potent.
El Carnicería Absoluta, ladies and gentlemen. Now!
I can feel my liver getting carnage.
With drink in hand, join us as we review 8 more of this Wednesday, October 30th, new comics during the Ludicrous Speed Round.
The Last God, #1 from DC Black Label.
Everyone universally loved Game of Thrones and the way the series ended, but let's face it, GOT comics aren't very good. The comics just didn't translate well, and now I know why. They didn't have this creative team. Philip Kennedy Johnson, who wrote Warlords of Appalachia and Last Sons of America, has created an amazingly fleshed out fantasy world complete with original songs. The story is violent, mean, and beautifully gory thanks to the incredible art of Riccardo Federici. This was an amazing first issue, and I just hope The Last God doesn't get lost on the stands while readers are still trying to figure out what Black Label even is. I'm giving it a buy it.
History making. First Black Label book we've given a buy it to.
Yeah, I think it's the very first one.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with DC superheroes, by the way.
No.
Fantastic Four, Grand Design, #1 from Marvel.
I was really excited for Tom Scioli's take on the Grand Design concept, but honestly, I thought this was kind of a mixed bag. Don't get me wrong, I love his Kirby-infused fan art style. Everything looks like it was colored in with magic marker. And the amount of content he packs into each page is really impressive. But Ed Pisker's X-Men Grand Design actually told the story.
Right.
It was super condensed, but it was actually a story. This was just a collection of disconnected moments with no narrative to link them at all.
Oh, really?
So it felt really disjointed. I mean, it's a tremendous piece of work. It's a joy to look at. It was kind of a mess to read.
Really?
I'm giving it a strong skimming.
That's super.
Yeah, it's just like, and this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened.
Not everybody can do what Ed Pisker does. And, like, collecting... He's also had, like, 4 books that are written like that to practice doing this.
Yeah.
So, I can't blame the guy. It's got to be a tough job.
Yeah. Red Goblin, Red Death, #1 from Marvel.
If you're looking for 3 mean-spirited stories of Norman Osborn as a red venom goblin killing folks because the Carnage symbiote is crazy, look no further. The first 2 stories are just that. Norman talking to Carnage symbiote and killing people for funsies. And then we get a story about a kitty infected with the symbiote. Nothing really happens outside of that.
That seems like a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, but that was it. It's just 2 stories of him killing people, and then 1 story about a kid that gets infected. Why we needed a Halloween-themed Red Goblin one-shot that doesn't push the Absolute Carnage story along at all is beyond me. I'm giving it a leave it.
Yeah, it really threw me for a loop there by having the Kaiju Max thing in there.
Giant Days as time goes by. One shot from Boom.
The Giant Days finale is here, and best friends Esther, Daisy, and Susan struggle to stay connected a year after graduating from university. That's British for college.
I was going to say, what the hell's university?
Yeah.
I don't speak British, okay?
I only just recently discovered Giant Days, and I'm so sad it's over. Writer John Allison delivers a heartwarming and relatable story with instantly likable characters. Max Sarin's cartooning is wonderfully charming. As Time Goes By is a great send-off for the series with an unexpected supernatural twist.
Hey-oh.
I've been reading Giant Days for about a year. No hint that there was anything weird going on, and then suddenly there's like ghosts.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving it a buy it. I love it.
All right.
Vampire State Building number 2 from Ablaze.
Ablaze was kind enough to send us the first 2 issues of this new horror series, and it hits the ground running real fast. Vampires are taking over the Empire State Building, and they are rounding up all the people inside for a giant bloody buffet. Oh, by the way, they're bringing back a big bad who's going to be like the head vampire, right? This story had all the fun of classic disaster movies like Towering Inferno, mixed with shrieking monstrous vampires in the style of 30 Days of Night. Charlie Adlard is great on art.
Ah, that's right.
But it was a solid read with a great premise and a title you cannot resist. Best title of the week. Give me a break.
That's
Vampire State Building?
Real solid.
That rules. I'm giving it a buy it. Hellboy, the BPRD, Long Night at Goloski Station. It's a one-shot, and it's from Black.
Hellboy has to wait for a train at a tiny station somewhere in Russia. Luckily, a grizzled old monster hunter is there to lend a hand when a warlock and a pack of demons come for him. This is just a fun, little one-off story tucked somewhere in Hellboy's history. Matt Smith does a great job aping Mignola's style while still letting his own shine through. I would be happy if Hellboy was just short stories like this forever. I think
it is now. They blew up the BPRD
great.
Universe. So
I'm totally fine with it. I love this. I love it. Long Night at Goloski Station gets a buy it. Sandman Universe presents Hellblazer number 1 from DC.
Actually, it was a Sandman Universe
Black Label.
special Hellboy.
I think it's an ongoing though.
There's one coming. This is like the introduction.
Oh, they did that for all the. Did that for all the scenes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cy Spurrier ports John Constantine into the Sandmaniverse, and wow, is this story weird! We begin at the end of some kind of future magic war that is ending very badly. Constantine makes a deal with his future self and wakes up in an insane asylum in 2019 London. Marcio Takara's art is insane. Like J.H. Williams on meth insane. Ooh. With massive panels full of pure demonic madness. This was an excellent reintroduction for my favorite foul-mouthed magician, and just when I thought Spurrier was going full superhero with the character, he yanks the entire story right out from under you. Welcome back, John. I'm giving this a buy it. It was great. Joker, Killer Smile, number 1, DC Black Label.
Dr. Ben Arnall has a pretty great life, a loving wife and son, and a promising career as a psychotherapist. He also thinks he's going to be the one to finally find out what makes the Joker tick. That never goes well.
No.
But when signs that the Joker has been in his house, in his little boy's room, despite being safely locked up in Arkham, Ben starts to slowly unravel. Lemire's script is creepy as hell, and the art by Andrea Sorrentino and Jordi Belair is disturbing and breathtaking.
It's quite the creative team.
Yes, it's the Green Arrow?
Yeah, the old Green Arrow.
Yeah. This is the first Black Label book that I really loved. Joker Killer Smile number 1 gets a huge buy it.
No kidding.
Black Label put out Joker, Harleen number 2, The Last God, Basket Full of Heads, Sandman Universe.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they put out like 6 books for Black Label this week.
Sandman Universe or Black Label?
They've switched them to Black Label since there's no rating. So that they can say the F word.
Splotch! That's your Ludicrous Speed Round, and splotch is the sound of a giant cockroach demon thing pulling itself out of a body, as seen in the pages of Gideon Falls 11. Gross. This onomatopoeia of the week was submitted by Adam Wednesday via Facebook. You're a sicko, Adam. If you want to submit an onomatopoeia of the week or suggest a cocktail recipe, you can post it to any of our social media accounts or send it to twoheadednerd@gmail.com. You can also watch these damn Ludicrous Speed Rounds on your YouTubes. It's on our YouTube channel, but it's your YouTube. It's for everybody. They are usually up even before the show to help you, the discerning comic nerd, make an educated new comic book day buying decision. And hey, you want to help stock the Ziggurat Bar? Click our Donate Now button and buy us a bottle of booze. Or hey, just buy us a drink, why don't you? We'll even mention you in the Cocktail of the Week segment. We'll send a cheers out to you.
That's right.